Hi, my name's Mick Napier from the Scottish Palestine Solidarity Campaign. Today is Thursday, the 29th of March 2018, and we are extremely concerned about a demonstration tomorrow by many people in Gaza, the world's biggest prison, to assert their legally enshrined right of return to the areas from which they were ethnically cleansed in waves of Israeli army and militia ethnic cleansing in the past. The reason we are concerned is the Israeli habit, addiction, one could say, to ultra violence in order to crush Palestinian aspirations for freedom, in order to demoralize and deter any resistance to Israel's plan to have a Palestine without any Palestinians. This Israeli state violence is well attested, well recorded. Only last December, many people around the world saw the Israeli murder of Ibrahim Abu Thureya. He had had both legs destroyed during an Israeli massacre of 2014, but he remained part of peaceful demonstrations against the wall, in his wheelchair or on the ground. No conceivable security threat, but he was shot through the head by an Israeli sniper who decided to end his life. The Israelis are installing, they say, 100 snipers along their wall tomorrow in order to, we don't know what, but we'll see, possibly kill a large number of peaceful demonstrators. The people of Gaza are going to gather at 700 meters distance from the wall, and they will be there for a period of time, some days, maybe longer, in order to assert this right to return. But the potential is always there from the Israeli army for great violence and massacre. We remember that they killed 2,200 people in Gaza in 2014. 550 of them were children. I visited Gaza on one occasion. I managed to get in when a section of the wall was blown up, was destroyed by the Palestinian resistance, and I got in for almost a week. I interviewed Samir Al-Hams, the father of Iman Al-Hams. His daughter, aged 13, was killed by Israeli snipers on her way to school one morning. And what's remarkable, not even remarkable, what's special about her killing was only that the recording between the soldiers concerned, their voices, their conversations were recorded and were even played on Israeli television. So we know that they knowingly killed a terrified schoolgirl, and we also know that the officer in charge said to his soldiers, kill anything in this area, even if it's 3 years old. The officer was acquitted of any charges of unethical conduct by the Israeli army. Killing 3-year-old children is not unethical in the Israeli army. So we're very worried for our friends and comrades in Gaza. The situation there is desperate. There's a shortage of clean water, deliberately engineered by the Israelis. We know from various testimonies that the Israelis even micromanage calorie intakes for the people of Gaza. They have a number of calories that they allow people there to take in. So there is widespread despair. Facing 100 snipers tomorrow, our concern is that people have lost hope, that Donald Trump was even more ready to support any Israeli crime than his predecessor, Obama, and their predecessors. And Trump's alliance with Netanyahu, readiness to even egg them on, stands alongside the Saudi government, who just last week, for the first time ever, allowed planes to fly through Saudi airspace towards Israel. Just a slight hint of the very deep and enduring alliance and partnership between the Saudi dictatorship and the Israeli regime, which everyone knows, the dogs in the street know about it, but it's now becoming more open. and the Egyptian dictator Sisi, butchering Egyptians who challenge his rule, filling the prisons, Egyptian prisons groaning with thousands of political prisoners. He enforces the siege along his section of the border with Gaza, in tandem, in league with the Israelis. So the complicity from the West in engineering despair among the people of Gaza is extremely long-lived and very deep. Here in Scotland, we have the Wood Group, a conglomerate, an international company based in Scotland, who within line of sight of the people in Gaza are helping to build and manage a power station which will supply the Israeli army directly, the army that may murder large numbers of people again tomorrow, and is helping to build a power station on land stolen from these very same refugees who were herded into Gaza. And that's just an example of the complicity. A friend, Mushair El Farah, lives in Sheffield. He's an engineer, has been there for many years. He lost 11 members of his family during the massacre of 2014. But the bomb that was dropped on his family home had a guidance system to get it to its target, made in Fife in Scotland, in Glenrothes, by the Raytheon Arms Company. So the price of freedom for the Palestinians is already extremely high. Generations condemned to squalid refugee camps in Lebanon and elsewhere. But we don't know how much, but we can reduce the price of freedom by some degree by building a campaign of determined solidarity with the Palestinian people. The weapons continue to flow from Scotland, from Thurso in the north to Dumfries and Galloway, from Glasgow and Edinburgh. Components go which are essential for the Israeli system of repression and mass killing. And we can interdict that supply. We are not helpless. Palestinians can look over the wall. They can't even look over the wall, but they can see, they can know what's happening on the other side of the wall, but they can never reach it. Here we can follow the example of American churches who have successfully divested from arms companies and companies complicit in the Israeli state crimes. We can do the same because every local authority pension fund in Scotland invests in arms companies or other companies which help Israel to clamp its occupation onto the people of Palestine. And we can, if we build up enough energy and enough support, we can pressure for divestment from these companies, which will be a very serious measure, a signal to the people of Palestine that they are not alone, and a signal to the people of Israel that if the crimes continue, they'll pay an increasing price. So the Time to Divest campaign is something we ask you to join. Don't get angry, or get angry, there's so many reasons to get angry, but channel that anger. We need to organise. The Israelis want us to react to every single crime, but we need to not just be reactive, we need to have a long-term strategy to come to the aid of the injured and violated people of Palestine. We can make a difference, and that secret is something our governments wish to keep from us. We can't succumb to despair. It's a luxury we can't afford. We'll save it for better times. We will try to link up with friends and companies in Gaza in order to add to the links tomorrow, which will largely be in Arabic, I'm sure, from Al Jazeera and various other Arab media. We'll try to link up with friends in Gaza to get a discussion, a conversation in English, which can help us to contextualize, to understand whatever happens tomorrow. But as I finish, my last remark would be, we're terrified about what will happen tomorrow, given the Israeli addiction to massive violence against peaceful demonstrators. But we mustn't let that paralyze us. Get involved, get active, help us to interdict the supply of arms to the Israeli military from Scotland, from Britain, and from around the world. Thank you.